Hello YouTube, Ken here with another Black Desert Online video for you, and this one we're going to be talking about the Tin Man succession that came out last week, I believe, or a couple weeks ago here in Korea, and it should be coming out for you guys outside of Korea maybe this week or next week. So I want to start this video by saying that I am not a striker main. I barely play striker. I have never actually played this Striker Awakening. I'm not an expert. I'm just here to show you the skills and their effects and things like that, and tell you a quick opinion on how I felt the class played and things like that. So if you are interested in that kind of information, feel free to stick around and let's see what the Striker has to offer us. So let's see here. As always, we got the same amount of skills as everybody else here for Succession. All right, so let's start with the Shift E buff here for Succession, and the Shift E buff is going to start by giving you a 500 HP heal, which is pretty good for instant cast skill. It is on a 3-minute cooldown though, so keep that in mind. And then for 30 seconds you're going to get plus 50 DP, and you're going to get a attack speed buff of 30% and a resistance buff of 30% as well. So you're going to become harder to CC, you're going to attack faster, you're going to heal, and you're going to get some extra DP, and of course you get super armor while you're casting the skill while you're on the animation, and the animation is going to look like this. He looks pretty angry, and then he's on fire. Pretty neat. So this is the kind of attack speed you can be expecting here from this dude. All right, so moving on to the passive now, the actual passive here. And this passive actually has two parts here. The first part is there's a list of skills here, after which you can use the Hadouken skill. So this one here usually is a long charge. And you can release, but if you use this skill after those skills on the list here in yellow, which are in Korean right now, you can use that automatically by using back and right click. So for example, if I can do this and then immediately cast the Hadouken, or let's see if I can get this other combo right here. Let's wait for the recharge, and that goes like this. And you can see that the Hadouken also comes out automatically and much quicker. So that's pretty cool. Not sure if that was available in pre-succession, but it is available now. You can see here, normally you have to do back, right, and left click. But if you do after those skills, you can simply do back and right click. Pretty cool. You can keep chaining this thing, and it does pretty good damage. I'm not sure if it does the total damage. It's probably just the times for 1,400%. But it's still, for a pretty much instant attack, is not bad, and you get frontal guard on the Hadouken. Now keep in mind that if you do hold the right and left click after using those skills, you're still going to do the animation, the charge animation, like this. So you got to make sure that you only hold the right click when you do it, like this. And then you got the automatic thing here. All right, so the second part of this skill here, I'm having a hard time figuring out how to use it, but you should be getting a plus 15% evasion buff and a 15 DP buff for 5 seconds here. It says when you use this thing, but I cannot get the buff to pop up. So if I use this, I'm seeing no buff here. So I might be not following this correctly here. I see no buffs here, so either it's not showing or I'm doing something wrong. And the third part of this buff is actually a heal. For whenever you use the Hadouken here, you get a 200 health heal. It does not work when it's on cooldown, according to the description here. So you cannot spam for days, but every 8 seconds a 200 heal is nothing bad. Plus you also get a 300 heal from this skill here. I spoiled the surprise here. So with this combo you can heal 500, plus you can get 500 from here. So within a couple seconds you can get about 1,000 heal just from using your buff, and then this skill, and then this skill right here. All right, so and then for the passives, you're gonna get health, max health, and crit chance increase from these. So 10 and plus 1, 10 plus 1, 20 and plus 1%, 20 and plus 1%, and 40 and plus 1%. So you're looking at 5 crit chance and about 100 extra health if you max this out. Now let's get into the actual skills. So the first skill that we get here from Succession is Crimson Fang. It's going to be 3 times 1,311% at max rank, and it's going to give you 6% accuracy at 10 hits, 10 targets max, and it's going to recover some WP. And it does have frontal guard, which is pretty good, and it has a down attack. And in PvP, unfortunately, the damage is reduced. All right, so I guess we just figured out how to use that the second part of it. So apparently, if you don't pop your bubbles, you get different versions of your attacks, and then you can use those to get your extra attack, and I mean extra 15% evasion and 50% DP. Because if I pop the bubbles now, I'm not gonna get that, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. And if I do boom, oh, I do get it, never mind. So here it is, there you go. So if you actually finish your combos, you can do this, and then you get the buff. Alright, so now I got it. Next one here is Fist Fury, apparently. And this is your back and right click. Didn't use this too much, as you can see here on while I was grinding. And it kind of rounds you in place. And it's on a, there's no cooldown. There's a 3 times 1400%, and then 5 times 1400% on the last hit. So you got 3 punches, and the big punch in the end gives you 5 times 1400%, and then you get 7% accuracy, and then you can you also get a heal, 40 heal per hit on that, which is pretty good. And it's you know, there's a little bit of a float there at the end, and a knockdown on the last hit. There's also a down attack and an air attack in the last hit. Alright, and there's no protection this skill, unfortunately. The first skill here, we had a frontal guard, the shift and right click. No, yeah, shift and right click. But here there's no protection on the back and right. Then moving on here to the next one, which is Adamantine. And this is your right click skill. A little shoulder bump there. And this is a 4 times 1200% damage, 100% crit, and a 4-second cooldown, 5% accuracy. So again, a lot of accuracy bonuses here from these attacks. He also restores some WP, 35 per hit. So you're going to be getting about 140 WP back from that. Frontal guard, which is awesome, but not on cooldown. If you can use it and spam it on off cooldown, but if it's on cooldown, you do not get protection. And it's also a stun, but also when it's not on cooldown. It should work on PvP though, and it's also when it's on cooldown, the damage is reduced, and the damage in PvP is also reduced. Moving on here to Knee Hammer. This one is your shift and left click, and at max level is a 5-second cooldown, 3 times 832%. It has a 5% accuracy rate here, and there's a frontal guard, which is also pretty good since you're charging, but only when it's off cooldown. If you use it on cooldown, it does not have a protection. It's also this is stiff, but only in PvE, and only when it's off cooldown. And then you got a down attack, and damage is reduced when it's off cooldown. And then we got here our next skill is your somersault, your back and Q. But this one is on an 8-second cooldown, 4 times 1280%. You got an 8% accuracy, 10 hits, and it recovers some WP as well, 40 on hit. And it reduces the target's DP by 15 only when it's off cooldown. You can spam the skill, but it only works, the debuff only works when it's off cooldown. It's a 10-second debuff, and it also has a float and air attack. And the damage is reduced in PvP, unfortunately, for Knee Hammer. I think all these skills get damage reduction on PvP here. Alright, and the last skill here, the main group here, is Hidden Claw. And this one is your back and left click. And I didn't use it much. I don't like the fact that he jumps back. It might be used to dodging some stuff in PvP or whatever. I don't PvP, especially, and I'm not a striker main, so I have no idea how useful this skill can be. Maybe it can fit into some combos, but it's 3 times 1200%, and it's 5% accuracy, 10 hits. The higher the level, the farther you travel, which I'm not sure if that's a good thing, so you can dodge farther back. It also has a 10-second DP debuff by 15, and it also only works when it's off cooldown, but it's a 4-second cooldown, so it should not be a problem. And it has a little bit of a iframe there while you're jumping back, but also only on cooldown. And then you have float, which also only works while it's on cooldown, or off cooldown I should say, an air attack at the end there. And then in PvP the damage is also reduced. And then moving on here, the skill is called Roaring Tiger, and this is your right click and left click together, or what I call dual click. 5-second cooldown. This one does a lot of damage, 5 times 1700%. You got another 5 times 700% there when you use with this thing here. So there's a lot of damage, and 12% accuracy, and then it heals for 300 damage, 300 HP, which is pretty good. On a 5-second cooldown, you get a 300 HP heal. Not a bad deal, especially because, again, you can combine with this to get you 1000 HP recovered there in a second and a half, 2 seconds. And then following up, you got a down attack, down smash, and air smash. And the PvP damage reduced. Then you got your Hadouken. Yeah, this is what I'm saying is your Hadouken. So back and left click and right click. But again, with the passive here from Succession, you can chain this into a lot of skills like this one here. You can chain Roaring Tiger and Wolf's Fang together for the instant cast, so you do not have to charge. If you don't charge, you get 4 times 1400%, and if you charge, you're gonna get the 7 times 1409%. You got 100% crit chance. I'm not sure if the crit chance 100% affects the chain, the flow, when you use this as a flow as part of your Succession passive, but you can test that. And then 15% accuracy, which is awesome, and Frontal Guard as well while you're using this skill, but only when it's off cooldown. And is also a stun, but only for PvE. Apparently only stuns on PvE, and also only when it's off cooldown. And it's a down attack, and of course it consumes stamina while you're charging. And then go to the next skill here. This is a Rage Hammer. Yeah, Rage Hammer. This is your Shift Q. It does 5 times 1500%, 8-second cooldown, 13% accuracy, and it's a knockdown. And super armor while you're using it, which is pretty cool because it's kind of a silly long animation there. It has a bound, but only in PvE. It's a down attack, but damage in PvP is reduced. All right, and then you get your other skill here is your Wolf's Hunger. Wolf's Hunger, and this is the teleport, your Shift and F, and you get here for the first 2 attacks, you get 2 times 1300%. For the third attack, you get 4 times 1300%. It's got 100% crit chance. It's got 10% accuracy. There's an iframe while you're teleporting, and it is also a stun on the first hit. So moving on here to your awakening skills that you get, they move over to your Succession. You get your Forward C, which is your Rampaging Predator. You got 5 times 1200%. You got 100% crit chance. You got 16% accuracy, and then you get a deep dot on your target. 27 seconds. Every 3 seconds you get 30 damage, and then is also a Frontal Guard, and is also a stun. And then your last skill here is your Back and C, and that is your Skull Hammer. It's kind of another teleport, and you get here 821% times 7 for the damage, 8-second cooldown. It is 100% crit chance on monsters and 50% crit chance on players. And this one, actually the other skill, also has a reduced damage on players. For some reason they put it's kind of strange how they put here these 2 skills, the player damage versus the monster damage, but they also the end here they put PvP damage reduced. So I'm not sure if it's further reduced, but it says here on the Rampaging Predator is only 3 times 1200%, and on the Skull Hammer we have 50% crit chance only against players. And this, so continue here with the Skull Hammer, we get 11% accuracy, and then for 10 seconds you get a attack speed of 10% and a movement speed reduction on the target by 20%. And also super armor while teleporting, and a knockdown only in PvE, and it's a down attack. And as I mentioned before, the PvP damage is reduced. All right, so let's go look at the animations here real quick. So you got your Shift and right click. I already showed this, just the elbow smash here. And then you have your back and right click, which is this skill here. All right, so this is your back and right click, and then you have your right click, which is just the shoulder smash here. And then you have your next skill here is your Shift and left click, which you can also at the end, as you saw here, you can also combo that with your Hadouken. So if you hold the Shift click here to the end, and you hold it back and right click, and you can check out the Hadouken, instant Hadouken at the end. And it seems like the 100% crit chance does stick if you use this, because I'm always critting on that, and you also get a down attack. That's pretty good. So that's it for your Shift and left click, and then this is your back and Q, which I have the pre Succession here, the flow to it. I forgot what it is. It's somewhere around here, but it lets you continue to do flip flops. So the original one for Succession is just one jump like this. But if you get the pre Succession ultimate version, you can of course jump around like continuously like this. I'm not sure if it's worth it. You can decide yourself. I'm not a striker main, like I said, so I'm not sure if getting the extension is worth it or not. I just needed more attacks and a little bit of more fun things to do while I was grinding. All right, so that's it for your somersault, and then you have your next skill here is your Hidden Claw, which is back and left click. This thing here. let's see if we can do some kind of Hadouken here at the end. It also works. Yeah, so your Hadouken also, so it looks like you can pretty much chain this after pretty much everything here. Let's see if we can do this. And then do one of these, this, and then you can do whatever. So you get that picture. You can keep spamming the Hadouken over and over again to do the damage. So that's it for these skills, and then you got the left and the dual click, left and right click, which I showed you before already. Just this thing here, just one hit. So if you hold your, so if you only hit this, you don't get the buff. But if you hit it and hold it at the end, you get the second impact. That's when you get your buffs here, defensive, but your evasion buff and your DP buff. Okay, so just like with this thing here, actually, if you hit one more time, you get the buff. So you can possibly keep this going indefinitely. Always have the permanent 15%. You can do this, and you can keep refreshing, right? So you can, there's probably a rotation that you can use here, efficient rotation, where you can keep the 50% evasion buff going at all times. So should be pretty good for evasion build. And then so that's Hadouken. I already showed you this charging here. But the main way, no, this one. The main way you're going to use this probably is going to be comboing with other skills. All right, next, let's see here. And then you got your punching ground, your earthquake thing here, which is this thing. Sadly, you cannot combo with your Hadouken apparently. So the cool thing about this skill, I don't know if this can also do this on pre-succession on the plane skill, but you can actually combo this with your dash for a little bit of extra mobility here. Cool engage, since you get super armor on the skill too. So if you do this and then this, you continue the momentum of the charge forward and get a little bit of more mobility there with the super armor, so you can engage. Anyways, then you have your shift teleport here. Shift teleport, yes, there's a teleport key. Shift and F, which is a teleport. This one. I thought you could chain your Hadouken after this. Let's try one more time here. Nope, this one. Alright. So, and so there's a teleport. This one has a super armor wall. No, this has iframe. No, yeah, iframe while you're moving, only while you're teleporting. And then you got your forward C, which is a little just fall in the same place. I'm not sure what the deal is with this animation. Kind of a strange animation if you ask me. But there's that. And then your final skill here for the succession is your other awakening, your teleporty thing. If you do forward and C, and you get that going there. Honestly, I think there's a lot of potential here particularly because of the passive that lets you chain all the Hadoukens and then gave you the 15% evasion plus 15 DP and a heal every time you use your Hadouken, which, like I said, we can keep Hadoukening pretty much all day, and every 8 seconds you're gonna get extra 200 health. Good for grinding a little tougher areas where you might be spamming pots now. You're not gonna have to, and you get another heal here and 300 heal from this skill, and you also get a little bit of a smaller heal here with your back and right click. So good for grinding, I think. And you also get the heal from your Shift E. So it might be good for all this healing might be good for some PvP here as well. I'm not a PvP, especially on Striker, so don't quote me on that. But healing 1000 damage in a couple of seconds is not too bad, right? You can do something like this, you buff, and then heal, and then this and this, and there you go. Now you just heal 1000 damage or 1000 HP in about a second or a second and a half. So yeah, I think that's all I have for the Striker. Let me know what your opinion are on the Striker succession, from what you're seeing here, from what you heard. From what I heard from one Striker main, apparently it's not very good. They prefer the mobility from the Awakening. Again, I've never tried the Awakening, but apparently there's more mobility with it. And I would not deny that the mobility is kind of lacking here on the succession. There's no skills here really that let you zip around much aside from your dash, which is not necessarily something exclusive to the succession. So the only other mobility thing that you have is a teleport, this teleport here, but the range is not really very good. You have to be kind of from here, I think, to actually be able to get to the enemy. If you are from here, let's see how close I get. All right, so I guess that works. I got a little bit of a dash there, and Okay, so it's got some stuff. I wouldn't say it's the most mobile class in the world, but no, I've been a Guardian main for a while. So keep that in mind as I'm talking about mobility here. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of what you saw on the video. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Succession Striker. Let me know if you're looking forward to playing Succession Striker, or if you think you're going to stick with your Awakening Guardian, not Guardian, Striker. Now, let me show you the costume here, suppose the Succession costume, so you can start saving your money. There you go. So this is the Striker Succession outfit. Pretty cool. Looking pretty European, knightly, again with the cape. They're putting capes in all of these Succession outfits apparently, but can't say I don't like it. There's a flaming particles coming out of his gloves, his gauntlets, and yeah, you can look forward to that. No helmet, nothing on the head, just your beautiful. We're gonna show your beautiful face to everybody. But yeah, like I said, let me know what you think of the Succession. Let me know if you're excited to play it, and let me know what you want to see next. I think actually next is going to be the Guardian Succession, so if you're looking forward for that, feel free to check out in the coming days. And then the Mystic Succession, and that should put an end on Succession for a while. Actually, I'm going to probably be doing also Valkyrie Succession video too, but that'll be a little bit in the future. I'm working on Valkyrie. I'm really enjoying the Valkyrie Succession so far, so stay tuned for that, for all those videos. And if you like the video, don't forget to hit that like button. If you want to see more BDO content from me, feel free to hit the subscribe button, and check our stream on Twitch and the Discord community. There are links down there. But that's it for me for now. See you in the next one. Take care.